So we're on the cusp of the Pixel 11 launch, and to be fair, I think after less leaks than usual, we've now had an absolute deluge. Everything has basically come all at once, so we're going to spoil a lot of stuff, so yeah, strap in this video. If you want more from Made by Google and long afterwards, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you join the team and you'll get some nice content to boot. Cheers. So you don't need to tell us what's coming. The leaks and previous generations kind of told us what to expect. We're going to get the lineup for 26 consisting of the base Pixel 11, the Pixel 11 Pro, the Pixel 11 Pro XL, and the Pixel 11 Pro Fold. Pretty by the numbers this point in time. We're also getting the Pixel Watch 5 in 41mm and 45mm sizes. There will be a Pixel Buds Pro 2 in a brand new colorway. Sadly, no new Pixel Buds for anyone to pick up. But I do think the surprise package is the Pixel Tag. This is Google's maiden attempt at a first-party Android tracker, but we will get into those devices in a future video. That is probably the only shock inclusion, as it managed to stay almost hidden until recent leaks showed it was indeed finally coming to fruition. We kind of expected this when Find Hub, or I think it was Find My Device, originally launched. But yeah, we'll get more into that when we get hands-on time with those devices in the coming days. Third time's a charm though, as they say, because the Pixel 11 is yet another retread of that Pixel 9 device lineup. These devices will have almost identical footprints and very minimal changes once again. It does look like the phones will be a fraction thinner by a few millimeters. This could make some cases incompatible again, but the camera bar is likely the cause of this change. We'll test this out when we have devices in hand, as you could technically use cases last year with some caveats, so yeah, we're hoping that that's the case this time around. While none of the changes are major, there are some tweaks and refinements to that camera bar as I noted. It's no longer having those metal portion on the right side of it. The entire visor is glass once again. It's a return to the Pixel 6 camera bar, if you can remember that. Wasn't that long ago. And like that phone, there is no room for the temperature sensor on the Pro models. It looks like it's getting fully ditched this year. So if you like that feature, sadly it's not coming this time around. On the Pixel 11 Pro and Pro Fold though, that LED flash looks like it's going to double as an RGB light. We're not sure what it will do, but it's going to have some more functions. The Pixel 11 will feature several unique finishes. We have the greenish black midnight haze, we have the lavender-esque light sterling, a vibrant fuchsia sort of colour, and a lighter green. I think they're calling this moss. These names might be subject to change, but yeah, that's what we've heard from leaks. These base models reportedly pair matte frames with the glossy glass backs, which tend to be par for the course now. And per numerous leaks, so the Pixel 11 Pro and Pro XL models will be available in Midnight Haze, I think it's called, Light Fog, which is like a silver, like a bit of a white shade. There's a dark green pine and a gold tinted June, or I think it's gold and pink tinted June colour that features a peach toned back glass. While the Pro models continue to use matte glass with polished glossy frames, there is an exception though, as the Midnight Haze variant has notably all matte for the first time. It has a matte frame to match its matte glass back. And that will no doubt be a huge change, a really welcome change for many. And I think it's arguably a device that might be the easiest to recommend this time around. The Pixel 11 Pro Fold will once again be offered in only two colours, Midnight Haze and Pine. Eagle-eyed observers will notice that this is the first time for a while that we've skipped the porcelain or fog options, which you've seen in other Pro models. It seems to be a standard black option and then another option on top, which I think was the case last year, but it's interesting to see Google doing this time around. So another year and another renewed hope that the new Tensor chip, the Tensor G6 in this case, will finally provide that performance uplift that we've been waiting for. TSMC took over fabrication last year, but this year it's utilizing its cutting-edge 2nm process for the first time on a smartphone. That's actually beating Apple to the punch for this milestone and a lot of other OEMs. The chip features a revised 1+4+2 configuration. It'll have newer ARM C1 cores, specifically one C1 Ultra core, clocked at 4.1 GHz, and 4 C1 Pro cores, clocked at 3.38 GHz. Google is also finally swapping out its long-standing Samsung Exynos modems for the MediaTek M90, so hopefully better connection, or potentially better connection for lots of people out there. In terms of performance, the outlook is it's a mix of promising gains and potential bottlenecks. The CPU upgrades certainly look particularly strong, with the newer architecture estimated to offer up to 16% higher performance than previous cores. However, as I say, it's tempered. The graphics side might not see as significant a jump this time around. Leaks suggest that Power VR GPU is based on older architecture that might not satisfy enthusiasts once again looking for top-tier gaming performance. While I think total performance parity with every other Android competitor, it remains unlikely. The move to a more advanced fabrication process and the newer CPU architecture represents at least a step forward in both power and efficiency potentially. A major update though this year is the elimination of the 128GB base storage tier across the entire lineup, so it's 256GB now as a minimum. This should significantly improve the long-term value and usability of these devices. We're not sure if it's UFS 4.0 across the board, but it does seem likely this time around. I think while the storage is increasing, the downside here is that memory capacity is seeing some volatility, obviously due to that global RAM crisis that everybody's affected by. While the Pro models were previously expected to ship with 16GB of RAM, some leaks suggest certain configurations will drop back to 12GB to help manage and adjust the costs of these devices. Screen sizes, well, they remain consistent with previous years, but peak brightness is seeing a massive jump. The Pixel 11 is stuck at 3000 nits, that's the same as the Pixel 10, while the Pro and Pro XL models hit a pretty impressive 3600 nits. The Pixel 11 Pro Fold retains its footprint. It has an 8-inch inner display screen, but it's going to have a marginally larger 6.4-inch outer screen. No word on the brightness of those, at least at the time of this video going live. Quality of life extras include improved face unlock potentially that's reportedly more faster and more accurate in low light, a new hardware feature. We thought it was called Pixel Glow, but it looks like it might be called Highlight now. So that potentially is going to add notification LEDs to the camera bar that provide visual feedback for Gemini and some favorite contacts. Battery capacities have been tweaked across the board, although they're not massive once again. The base Pixel 11 gets a bump to 4,985 mAh, which I think is pretty good, and the Pro XL features a 5,115 mAh cell. I think Google will probably word this slightly differently. Surprisingly, the Pixel 11 Pro is rumored to have a slightly smaller 4,850 mAh battery compared to its predecessor, so that's a little bit disappointing, while the Pixel 11 Pro Fold moves to a 4,800-ish mAh battery. All models will support the Qi 2 wireless charging standard, so yeah, magnetic options are going to be available to you. The Pixel 11 will feature a triple camera system on the back consisting of a newer 48 megapixel main sensor, so that's 13 megapixel ultra wide. It's going to have that telephoto zoom lens with super zoom up to super res zoom. I don't know if they're calling it super res zoom or super zoom. We'll find out. That's going to be up to 30 times. The main sensor is a big jump up from last year, so that should be a better experience. I think it's a much more flagship option. The Pixel 11 Pro and Pro XL models, they're going to see more significant sensor changes. Reportedly, they're going to have new sensors at the main and telephoto cameras. Their triple camera array consists of 50 megapixel main, 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 48 megapixel periscope zoom capable of 5 times optical zoom. The ProRes zoom is getting upgraded from 100 times to 120 times, which is really cool. As for the Pixel 11 Pro Fold, this is also getting a new main sensor, a 48 megapixel option. It's rounded out with that 10.5 megapixel ultra wide and 10.8 megapixel periscope telephoto, offering 5 times optical zoom and 30 times super res zoom, ProRes zoom, whatever you want to call it nowadays. It's also going to have dual 10 megapixel selfie cameras, one for each outer and inner display. As for features, well, we know that Gemini Intelligence is going to play a it's going to be a key component as part of the Pixel 11 launch. I see this basically as an enhanced experience that allows you to control more areas of your phone using the data in your Google account if you allow it to access that. It's kind of like Magic Cube at everywhere, or at least that's how I describe it, with better contextual awareness and enhancement. So take advantage of that deeper integration across all your various accounts. Google did confirm the price increases to us, so yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, but it kind of is what it is at this point. The prices aren't necessarily going to be great for anyone looking at this for the first time. I think in terms of pricing for the US market, the Pixel 11 is expected to start at $899, the Pro at $1,099, the Pro XL at $1,299, and the Pixel 11 Pro Fold at $1,899. So yeah, pretty eye-watering. And while there has been a steady climb in pricing, it's going to potentially be tempered by some trading offers. We don't know at this stage in time. At least the base model or the base of each device is now at 256 gigabytes across the board. So that might soften the blow. But yeah, pre-order details do remain under wraps until that August 12th launch event. But I do think we'll have usual trading promotions, maybe some bundles like a Google One or Gemini Pro subscription thrown in there. So it might make it a little bit more affordable, might be able to make it a little bit more palatable. Yeah, doesn't look good from this point in time. As for the launch event made by Google set for Wednesday, August 12th, you probably know that already. Nice and kind of slap bang in the middle of the summer release series. For the Pixel 11 series, there are rumors suggesting Google may be aiming for a more unified launch. So the core hardware lineup, including the 11, 11 Pro, 11 Pro XL, are potentially going to start shipping from August 20th this time. And obviously this would be a good sign, as previous generations saw kind of significant delays availability for the foldable specifically and the watches. Current leaks do suggest that 11 Pro Fold may also arrive on August 20th alongside the rest of the devices. So yeah, that would be a welcome change, especially as staggered timelines aren't necessarily great for people who pre-order. You sat waiting for a long time and it makes it a little bit pointless. But yeah, I want to ask you, what are you most excited for? I know that's a lot of information. We have had a lot of leaks in the last couple of weeks and last couple of days in particular, but let me know what you're most excited for down in the comment sections below. Is it an exciting launch for you? Is it potentially the Tensor improvements, although they're not that great? Brighter display, the highlight feature, or pixel glow, what we thought before? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment sections below. We do not have much longer to wait until we see these phones for the first time, and we will give you our hands-on impressions when we happen to get hands-on with these devices in the coming days. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll speak to you later.